What's going on, guys? I'm Journey, back with a thoughts video, this time on Torchlight 3. This game falls in line with Diablo 3, Path of Exile, and The Incredible Adventures of Hellsing. It's pretty much basically a dungeon crawl if you look at it that way. You have skills that you can assign to various different buttons. Some skills are locked behind a cooldown after you say use them. It's pretty much basically a loot-based game. Go in, kill a lot of enemies. You get loot ranges from regular commons to magic to legendaries, and there's rares. It's a lot here for you to kind of go through. You have 4 classes, and I went with the rogue. For my playthrough, a little bit something different. You can carry around your pet. Your pet will give you certain buffs. Obviously, comes through with a cooldown. You cannot control your pet. You can partner up with people if you so choose to. I've always been a solo guy. A lot of people know me. Uh, it's a pretty enjoyable experience for the most part. Now, there are some issues I do kind of have with the game in particular. I'm playing this through PC, through Xbox Game Pass, and there's some issues with controller support. For instance, sometimes your controller would not necessarily work with certain menus. So, for instance, if you're giving away your sacrifices items towards growing your tree that will help you get increased bonus in finding gear, as soon as you select it, you can't really do anything. You have to use your mouse. Uh, keep your mouse close to hand. That's the best way I want to put it. Keep your mouse close to hand. Keep your keyboard close to hands. They are with your skill tree, per se. You can upgrade your skill tree, but you can also take away from your skill tree if you're unhappy with what you have built. But you're going to need the item called a respectable. It looks like some goggles. Sometimes when you find them, you can't pick them up. And you can't pick them up with a controller. Keep your keyboard closed, hold down the Alt, push the left click, you'll be able to pick it up. And what it does is, like I said, it will remove a point, just only 1 point that you have allocated into your skill tree, or at least for a particular skill. There's a pro and a con with it. The pro is you can get a point back and put it in the place where you want to put it. A con is you shouldn't be using respectable for using it. Like, to me, Diablo 3 is kind of like a specialized class, because in that game you can literally for all your skills, if you're just unhappy, you can just reset them. Your level will stay the same. Once again, like once you get to a base level, you're fine. At that, you start earning Paragon points to get additional levels. And then your skills that you have for a particular character, you could just interchange them at will. Like, there's no penalty outside if you use it. You just gotta wait for the cooldown. This game don't work that way. It's just nowhere near that simple. It's nowhere near as fun. It doesn't leave much for experimentation in my mind, especially if you really want to change everything and you have a lot of points already allocated. Well, you're probably going to need somewhere in the ballpark of 20 respectables, maybe 30 respectables. So you got to keep going, grinding for the dungeon. There's also this other mechanic called like the life bound scroll that can increase your weapon stats, weapons or armor pieces stat by 20%. But upon death, you lose it. And there's no way to unbound it if you look at it that way. I heard there was a scroll in there in a game like that before, but they patched it supposedly, and now you don't have the option no more. It's not there supposedly. I don't know. And if it is, then it's such a low drop rate, because after probably more than 50 hours in playing, I haven't seen that one. So is that legendaries should nowhere be. Well, I should say legendaries should be the most powerful things that you can find. It should not be rares. It's top with a life scroll. Those should be for certain exceptions if you don't have a legendary. Legendary should always be the most important thing, because they always should be the hardest drops that you find in the game. And I just feel like that's not the case with this one. It's not the case with this one, and it's just kind of unfortunate. Set piece bonuses are very kind of confusing sometimes, and they'll try to have some stuff in there that's kind of like almost like a Ring of Warrior Grandeur, uh, from Diablo, where you put it on your character, it decreases your requirements for your pieces by 1. But over in Torchlight, they have something like that, and it's like up to 3, but I don't know. I don't even know if they work or not. It's just sometimes it feels weird with some of the descriptions that it's just really hard to follow. But the game itself, the music also can be really low key. Like, but it's an issue with kind of like this genre in general. Like when you're kind of out there and you're looting, like a lot of times you have to like feel off the sound effects to then like get yourself hype a little bit because the music is so really kind of low key that there's not really much going on. And if you're not really going anywhere and it's been like that consistently, chances are you have a high chance of dropping it. So I don't know what it is. Maybe with their musical group or something like that, you could probably figure out something to keep the music up pace. Some music can make you not want to give up, but continue on because it's engaging enough that allows the combat to actually really shine. There are some bugs, and most definitely are some bugs for this kind of game. Like I said, with the controllers issues and your pet disappearing like crazy. And the only way I've actually fixed it was to teleport all the way back to my base to then go and remove my pet, go back and reselect, get my pet back again, or quit out the game. And it's a little bit annoying for me. I like it. I think it's a nice time, but I don't think it's worth more than a single get through the main campaign. Try a little bit some of the stuff that they have for post game, which is really nothing more. But you find this genie, you set in your fort, and then you go to him, and then you'll have a selection of things from a card, and it'll give you like different I don't know, put penalties that you could choose or bonuses you could choose, and get through stages that way. But it's pretty much basically the same thing. Once you seem pretty much basically as much of the pilot as you can, it's not really much. It's not like randomly generated, in my opinion. So that's fine. Crafting kind of sucks because it's pretty much basically non-existent. You're just literally enchanting, and you're enchanting something specific. You can't really like a Diablo. You could select something that you want to re-roll in a fix on a weapon. This is not that you're trying to add a fix to a weapon that you might not like if it has a slot for that you can put an SS in, but it's weak in my opinion. Doesn't make me want to go explore. Doesn't make me want to see what else the game has to offer. And that just leaves a whole lot to be desired. So, but I do believe though this could hold you off until you either do get into Diablo, whichever that might be, whether it's the second remaster, the remaster of the second or Diablo 4, it can hold you down, but you're probably still better off looking at Pepper Vat's maybe, but that doesn't have controller support on PC, so I don't even know. But yeah, it's just, it's fine. You can have a lot of fun here, but there's still a whole lot left to be desired. And I think a lot of those things can be pretty game breaking, and not like game breaking from perspective of playing, but just game breaking in the sense of keeping your interest glued to the game. It's really hard to want to invest that time into it. Still kind of feels like it's a little bit unfinished, and there's just some concepts that really need to get redone. Like there should be a method for you to craft weapons. Legendary should be the most powerful stuff in the game that you can find. Your dog, or at least your animals, should not be disappearing. Yeah, that just should never happen. And it's just, yeah, I like it, but it's just, there's a lot to me, has a lot missing. So that's my thoughts on Torchlight 3. And I hope you uh, find some time to actually put into it. And I hope you get more out of it than what I got out of it. Until then, make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Till then, take care.